Shalom, brothers and sisters. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you. From Yahuwah, our Father, and Yahusha. He is the Mashayah, the one who carries the burden of Yah, his voice, our high priest, soon coming King. Hear, O Yeshua, Yahuwah, who is our mighty one. He is one. There is no other mighty one, brothers and sisters, than Yahuwah. And Yahusha is his voice. This is Brother Dawood coming to you again to bring you Pope Gregory's calendar. This is part 1, The Matrix. For years, I've been telling our people that we're living in the Matrix. Everyone is in a strong delusion, believing lies. What is the biggest lie of all? Pope Gregory's calendar, the Matrix calendar. Are you ready to wake up today? Or do you want to stay sleeping? If you want to stay sleeping, turn this off right now, because this is going to be a rude awakening. The Red Pill, University of Maryland. Because he chose the Red Pill, Neo became aware for the first time of the oppressive, parasitic nature of the Matrix. The Matrix in which we're living in today is like a parasite. We too live inside of a matrix. Who's saying this? University of Maryland. And the hegemonic power of the Matrix, hegemonic power, the ruling power, those who are in control of the Matrix, has only strengthened since September 11, 2001. 9/11. Lies are repeated until they are accepted as true. Can you give me a lie that they repeat all the time? I can. If you say anything against the Jews, you're anti-Semitic. Look what Morpheus said. You are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. Even the white people, they are collateral damage. Into a prison that you cannot taste or see or touch. A prison for your mind. In 2019, Yah stretched forth his arm with an open palm to bring you back to him. He gave us the path of years to free your mind from the matrix in which you're living in today. Hanuk, the book that is written for the righteous race that would arise in the last days. That's you and I, those who came out of the 4th generation of this captivity. That is you and I. For the remnant that would return to Yahuwah, that is you and I. But you know what the Gentiles do? They tell you that the book of Hanuk is apocryphal. What does that mean? It doesn't match canon. What does that mean? It doesn't match their Christian doctrine? Of course it won't. Christianity is paganism. How can it match righteousness? The next thing that they tell you is that the book of Hanuk is full of contradictions. I went through them. There's only a few that they speak of. But I want to tell you something. The KJV, I found thousands of contradictions. Should we stop reading the KJV because we found all of the contradictions? No. You chew the meat, and you spit out the fat. The next thing they say, something very weird, that the Book of Anu can only be dated to 300 BC. How can that be? The Book of Anu goes back to the times of Noah. So why do they say that? Well, Alexander the Great came into the Promised Land in 332 BC. So they may have discovered the Book of Anu around 300 BC. Note, nothing is discovered until the white man discovers it. They came here to America and they said that they discovered it, in the 1600s? America's been here all the time. There were people living here. Hey, the Africans came over here thousands of years before them. You have the Olmec stones with the Negroid features there, proof that they were here before them. But like I said, nothing is discovered until the white man discovers it. Let's begin. 1. And the leaders and the heads of the thousands, who are placed over the whole creation and over all the stars. So there's leaders, judges, for the luminaries that are in the heavens. They keep them in line. They have also to do with the 4 intercalary days. 4 intercalary days? Yes, there's 4 days added to the sun, being inseparable from their office, according to the reckoning of the year. And these render service on the 4 days which are not reckoned in the reckoning of the year. So basically what Hanuk is telling you, that the year has 360 days, and the Aliyam, the angels, the watchers, the messengers, the leaders and the heads of the thousands, they're the ones who place these days on the solar calendar in the sky. Can you do it here on Earth? 2. And owing to them, let me put the right word in, and changing them. Them is a pronoun. It's a plural form. What is them? Men go wrong therein. For those luminaries, he's speaking of the sun and the moon. If you change anything, you've gone wrong. For those luminaries truly render service on the world stations, 1 in the 1st portal, 1 in the 3rd portal of the heaven, 1 in the 4th portal, and 1 in the 6th portal, and the exactness of the year is accomplished through its separate 364 stations. What if you add a day? Is it accurate? What if you take away some days? Is it accurate? The answer is no. And Pope Gregory's calendar is the matrix calendar. It's a strong delusion. It has either 365 days in a quarter or 366 days. Hanuk says 364. Plus 7 intercalary days. Look, I have all the months listed. Count them. There's 7 31-day months. Hanuk said that there are 4. Okay. To tell you the truth, just with the information I just gave you, you know that you cannot have any of your days on this calendar. January. It's the first month of the year. Is that correct? Brother Dawood, I thought they taught us that the solar year begins at the equinox. How can January be the first month? You're living in the matrix. January represents one of their gods. His name is Janus. He's the god of transitions. He's the god of beginnings, the god of doors, the god of agriculture. He has two heads. One faces backwards. He looks back into the past. One faces forwards. He looks forward into the future. He's all-seeing, all-knowing. His celebration begins at midnight, transitioning you into a new month or a new year. Okay. So you were out, hanging out, December 31st, waiting for the ball to drop. You got your champagne. You're at a party. You're hanging out with the bubbly sisters. And when the ball drops, you say, Happy New Year! What did you just do? You're celebrating the god called Janus. That's on Pope Gregory's calendar. Hold it 1 second. Every month of the year on this calendar is represented by one of their gods. Brother Daoud, how can it be? Is this not a religious calendar? Is this not the calendar of Christianity? Christianity is pagan. How can you say it's not when they're showing you right in front of your face? But in the Matrix, they can show you anything and you still can't see it. Okay, what about the weeks? 7 days in a week. Every day is represented by one of the gods of these pagans. Let's talk about the 2 worship days. There's 2 days that have been picked out of the week for you to worship. Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is Saturn's day. Saturnalia, the god Saturn, a giant. You know what he does? He eats little children. So if you're on a Shabbat fixed on Pope Gregory's calendar to Saturday, that's who you're worshiping. That's his day on this calendar. What about Sunday? Sunday is the day of the sun god, Christos Helios. What do you call him today? Christ. He is the god of Constantine the Great. He put him on this calendar and fixed the first day of the week to Sunday for the worship of Christos Helios. And everyone in the church is worshiping Christ. Why? Because they're in the Matrix. Let's go down to February. February has 28 days in a common year, 29 days in leap years. Brother Daoud, how can that be? On a solar calendar in the sky, each month has 30 days or 31 days. How can it be 28 or 29? Like I said before, you are in the Matrix. Nothing here is going to line up to your rational thinking or to reality. What about March? Did you know in March there's 3 days of the equinox? I'm just going to use equinox. There's 3 days for the equinox. The first one is the 18th. That's the 364-day count. The next one is the 20th. That's the 365 and a quarter or 366-day count. And the third one is the one that we're going to focus on. The 21st. Pope Gregory fixed the starting of the solar calendar, Pope Gregory's calendar, the Gregorian calendar, to the 21st of March. So, he's saying to you that the 21st of March is day 1 of the count for his calendar. Let's do the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Brother Dawood, what is wrong with you? You have to count a full 30 days to make it a month. Why did you stop at 10? Because on Pope Gregory's calendar, if you count from the 21st, which is day 1, to the 10th day, you come to an impasse. There's 31 days in March. Then when you go to April, it starts over from day 1. Are you getting this thing? Do you realize that you're living in the Matrix? That they've run a game on you? They've made total idiots out of every last one of us? But most of us want to remain in the Matrix? Okay. So if you're a rational thinker, you start your count from the 21st, which would be day 1 according to Pope Gregory. And you will count to 30 days and you'll come to the 16th of April. So each of your months would overlap, correct? You'll count 6 months. You'll come to August, which will come into September. Did you know that there's another equinox there that's fixed to September 23rd on Pope Gregory's calendar? There's 2 equinoxes a year. So September would be the 7th month, if you're counting from March. It would be the 9th month, if you're counting from January. Which count do you make? You're in the Matrix. So if September is the 7th month, a rational thinker would count 6 months, September being 1. You'll come back to where? March. March 21st would be the beginning of the year if you're on Pope Gregory's calendar. But it's not. It takes you back to Janus. Okay. Anyone on this calendar is in a strong delusion. If you have a Sabbath on this calendar, you're worshiping one of their gods. Does this calendar go all the way back to creation? Impossible. It's not even rooted in time. It's a strong delusion. And our brothers protect it as though their lives depended on it. Yaobu Yam, chapter 6, 38. For this reason I command and testify to you that you may testify to them. Who's speaking? Henuk. He's the only one who went into the heavens. He is the one who is speaking here to Noah. For after your death, Noah, your children, Ham, Shem, and your pet, will disturb them. Disturb what? The days. I wonder how they did that. But listen, down through the centuries, none of these people had the time. They lost it. Yah chose out a people for himself. The children of Yisrael. Hey, they went into Egypt. They were taken captive, treated evil. They were made slaves. Yah stretched forth his powerful hand. When he stretches forth his hand, he uses a man, and the man was Masha, and his partner was Aharon. They went into Egypt. The Father gave them, when they were in Egypt, the path of years. He had them to look up in the sky at Hadash, and he said, this month shall be the beginning of months for you. Watch it. Follow it. Observe it. Don't forget it, for this will lead you to all of your appointments. So we were given back the path of years. Then when we went into captivity, we were stripped of all knowledge. Now we're regaining it, so that they will not make the year 364 days only. Only. How many days is on Pope Gregory's calendar? It is ridiculous. And for this reason, they will go wrong as to the new moons, and the seasons. Yes, seasons is right here. And Shabbats and festivals, and they will eat all kinds of blood with all kinds of flesh. The first thing that you need when you're going to be delivered from the Most High out of captivity, he has to restore you back to his time. And he did it in 2019. We are the witnesses. We are the heralds to our brothers and sisters. Return to Yah, and he will return to you. Continue to part 2. Shalom.